Hey everybody. This is a new series that I'm going to be starting called Real Life Theories. I guess you could also add with Ian. Whatever warms your heart. Basically what I'm going to be talking about is, as the description says, real life theories. With maybe a little bit of comedic humor here and there. I'm not very good with that, but we'll see as it goes. Basically, the reason behind this series is, on a daily basis, growing up, I always have thought to myself about the good and bad things of real life, the positive and negatives. I'm always inside my head. I don't know if any of you are into astrology. You don't have to be in order to get this video, but I am a Sun, Taurus, and Aquarius moon. Basically what that means is a lot of complicated different aspects. Basically, long story short, I'm always up in my head. I'm always in my thought process. I'm never really physically here. I'm the type of person that I understand my surroundings. I totally can see, the positive and the negative side of things, and that's kind of it'll be talked about in a different video. Basically, what I want to talk about today is how I'm going to explain to you guys what maybe I believe and or confirm what you may or may not believe about real life in itself. I am almost 25 years old, and I feel like I've thought about real life enough to kind of maybe talk to you guys about this. Because I kind of need feedback, because I can't just always think about my theories on it and believe that it's correct or wrong, or I'm not very good at, really socializing and talking about this sort of aspect with a lot of different people, because, here's the thing. The beauty of that, though, is we're all different. We all have different beliefs and views and theories, really, on how real life is based off of, or what it is based off of, or what we build. You know what I mean. I basically wanted to record myself pretty much talking to myself, in a sense, of my thought process, I guess, of real life. I guess we can start off with how it came to be. We all didn't decide to be here, okay? We didn't decide one day to be like, oh, well, someone had sex, and that's the body I'm gonna go in. No, it doesn't work like that. I believe that we're here for a specific reason, and that reason is, I don't know yet. I have been struggling for a very, 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 very long time on what real life is really supposed to be. I never really had any beliefs. I've never really had any sort of solid plan, or I guess you could just say really just a solid belief in a certain aspect of what real life should be about. Basically, what I really want to talk about is the different interpretations of what real life is, hence why it's called Real Life Theories. Again, there's just a lot of different things to talk about within this aspect, and I'm really interested to hear what you guys have to say. I have a lot of different opinions and a lot of different opinions from others that I've talked to about this sort of things, that really interested me and got me to really think about, I guess, recording myself right now to actually, get up and actually do it. I have a really big struggle with actually doing the things that I really want to do. Because I feel like it won't really get anywhere. B, I know I really shouldn't say that, but it's the truth. C, I don't know if any other people in the world are just as interested as I am in this sort of aspect, hence why I'm just D, giving it a shot anyways. Um, Basically, throughout all these years, I've come to the conclusion that if you're born, let's say you're born and you live for 100 years, right? Right now, at this very moment, you could say that I've lived a quarter of a century, okay? Within a quarter of a century, honestly, depending on your personality, your the way you grew up, your mentality, there's a lot of different aspects about yourself that can conclude to how you behave and how you react to others and how you kind of viewed yourself as well. And a lot of these sort of different aspects really interest me, and I'm just the type of person, going back to my main point, that I'm interested in getting to know all these different types of people. I love that there's a wide variety of different people, good and bad. I know that sounds bad, but it's the truth. Good and bad, and what was it? What was it? Good and bad, and then there's whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. Um, it's kind of hard to think of stuff on the spot here. Um, it's just very interesting to me because I like to learn about different people. I like to learn how they tick or how they work or how their brain works because it's so different from me. An example is I like a show. I like the show called Naruto. Okay, for example, I feel like that show. I grew up watching it for 10 years now, and it has really shown me a lot of different interpretations of life, how to go about life advices, how you can better yourself, how you can better yourself for other people, how you can influence other people to do better, and etc. Um, it's honestly, in my opinion, it is a very, very good show, and it really changed my life for the better. I've watched all 750 episodes. Uh, and I do gotta say, it's an emotional roller coaster, but very, very, very educational. And I think it's good for people who are really in my position of trying to get to understand what real life is like. And you know what? Here's the harsh reality. I may or may not ever really understand what this life, like this very life right now, is supposed to be about. Maybe I'll do all of this work throughout all these years and I'll meet all these different people, and maybe I might never know what the real meaning behind of real life is. But that's the point that I'm making here. This is why I'm making this video now, because I'm trying to open up this sort of aspect that not a lot of people may or may not think about. And if this is the type of stuff that you think about, please, for the love of God or whatever it is out there, talk to me. I need insight. I don't want to go based off of my own input, you know? I don't want my own opinion to be the sole opinion or all that stuff. I really, really genuinely enjoy everyone else's opinion and how they view life, because the thing is, guys, there's a big reason why every single person is different. And that's because we're all here to kind of teach each other these different views that we may have of each other. I know this is kind of leaning towards astrology at some point, but I will make a different video talking about that for those of you who are interested. I am a firm believer, a big believer in astrology, and I only say that because I've used it growing up, determining my friends and who I hang out with, who I interact with, who I can get along with, And, I've done a lot of research based off of that. And, not a lot of people like it or really understand that. And that's fine too. It goes back to my main point. Different people. But I will say, however, the beauty of the fact that there are a wide variety of different people that your brain probably can't even comprehend the different types of people is, like I mentioned before, I like to show Naruto. There could be someone who likes Naruto just as much as me, who is just as the biggest fan as me, but we're completely different people. You can only be so different, but at least maybe have a similarity. Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? I know I'm like jumping all over the place. But these are like a lot of different things that I think about on a daily basis, especially growing up. I've grew up with a mom and dad that stayed together for me. I kind of knew that there kind of was problems, but I didn't want to believe it because, when you're 10 years old, 11 years old, you're kind of like, hey, Mom, Dad. But, it kind of really opened my eyes to a lot of different things. I was always alone. My parents were always working, and it's not that I had a very bad childhood. It's just I had a lot of time to think about all these different types of things, and I think I've finally gotten to the point now where I thought about all these different things so much that I just need other people's opinions on what they feel, what they think, and how they go about life. Life is something that you may or may not ever completely understand, and that's the thing that sucks for me anyway, because I'm the type of person that really wants to understand it and get a head start. And I don't know, I'm kind of really talking to myself at this point. But these are all different things that I've really genuinely thought about. I thought about for a very, very, very long time, and a lot of things haven't really gone my way, but I've been researching a lot of stuff on how I can improve that, how I can better my life, how I can switch my negative thinking growing up into a positive one. I've been through a lot of different strokes and surgeries when I was born, and I was born with diaphragmatic hernia, and those of you that don't know, I was born without a working diaphragm. I'm actually a metal vocalist. I don't know how it works, but it does. Although my previous band isn't on a hiatus, but that's besides the point. Everyone grows up differently, and it affects their mentality, like I mentioned. It affects their personality. It affects their way of thinking. It affects the way they interact with others. It affects their view on humanity. It affects... there's a lot of different things here, and I think I'm going to end the video on this note, but I hope you all enjoyed. If you want to hear more, or if you want me to make more videos or talk about the astrology one, let me know. Thanks for hearing me out. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know in the comments below. Thanks.